This is the WebAwesome Playground. It allows you to play around with the WebAwesome components within CodeParadise. On the left-hand side, there's the collection of the current components. By default, it will show the button, and as you can see, it doesn't have a label. In WebAwesome, a label is just the inner text of a button, so we can add it. I want to add a child to this element. It should be placed in the default slot, and I want it to be a text. And I can say hello, and after entering it shows up. As you could have seen, there's also the possibility to add something at the start of the end of the button using its slot. I can put an icon there and choose one of these existing icons, and it will show up there as well. So this allows you to play a bit with the content. Here are the properties, so I can make it a filled or an outlined button, and that's something to play with. There are some methods sometimes at the bottom. If there's a parameterless method, you can use it here. It doesn't do much for buttons because like clicking will not show anything. So let's go to another example, the carousel. And the carousel item itself doesn't show anything. It also requires children, but these are a bit more difficult. So in that case, it's easier to say I'm going to add a child element, and I'm going to put it in the default slot again. And this time it's going to be some HTML, and I'm going to say, okay, I want to add a carousel item with the text 1 in it. I'm going to copy this, and I'm going to add number, you guessed it, 2 and 3, and I'm going to add this. And now you already see here, there's this one item. And for example, by the way, these tooltips sometimes sort of linger a bit, so you can press escape to remove it. I can put it on autoplay, and then it will just start playing the carousel items, and it will play until it's done. On 3, it stops. But if I say, okay, well, you have to be a looping carousel, it will go to 3 and then continue to 1. All right, let's stop the looping and let's stop the autoplay. So it remains at 2. And now here, for example, we have also got methods at the bottom. So I can say, okay, I want to go to the previous one. It will go to 1, and another previous one isn't there. So it will not wrap, but I can go to next and next and use these as well. So this is a bit of how you can play with these things. You can put it on a vertical, in this case for another example, and then it will scroll not from left to right, but from top to bottom. So you can, again, play around with it. There's an option to show the HTML, which is, we created ourselves, but then you have the option to get it here, and can start over again with a clean sheet for this one. So might be useful. Try it out if you want to see the components, but do remember some components are just not visible. Tab groups and tab panels require quite a bit of work, so you typically need to add quite a bit of HTML as a child to get something visible. And resize observer, for example, is a component which doesn't show anything. It only helps to generate events when a resize occurs. So those are not very useful items, but like rating is just a simple visual you can play with, or a radio button on its own. Not very interesting maybe, but it's there. I've got a progress ring here. Give it a little label. And then I can say, well, it's going to be on 13, and it shows there. Not sure why the label isn't showing, but it's probably because the label is a default item and progress rings don't show labels. Don't know. All right, that's it. If you want to give WebAwesome a try, the playground is probably a place to go to. Bye.